Well, hello and welcome to the Mix 6 podcast with me, your host, Tom Pinks, as part of The Mix, the UK's leading digital support service for under 25s in the UK. I hope you're okay wherever you are, wherever you're listening, whatever you're doing, you're good, you're healthy. If you're not, come and say hi at themix.org.uk or say hello on the socials, The Mix UK on Instagram, TikTok, or wherever you're browsing right now. We're probably there. Today's episode is all about fitness and what that word really means. Physical fitness, but also mental fitness as well. But don't listen to me. We have an incredible guest joining us to chat all about this topic. A personal trainer, content creator boasting 250,000 subscribers on YouTube, covering everything from body image to mental health, self-acceptance to just enjoying living a healthy lifestyle. Please welcome Scola Dondo.
Hi everyone. Hello. That was just such a good way of hyping me up. Like, I'm ready to go.
Everybody always says that. I do
Yeah,
put a lot of effort in. I want to give you the intention and the credit that you deserve. So yeah, how are you?
I'm doing good actually. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling happy, feeling very cozy as well at the moment. Very cozy.
It's that time of year, isn't it?
Yeah, just don't want to move, just want to be cozied up all day.
Hibernation. Yeah, priority number one. Um, I said this just before we recorded, but it is such an honour and a pleasure to have you here, Scola. You resonate with so many young people. So for you to take the time to talk to us today is so appreciated. Thank you.
I'm so excited to be here and answer some questions and everything.
Well, that's what we're here for. This is the Mix 6 podcast, and the premise is that we have 6 questions to ask you in around 30 minutes, and it's, as I said, all about fitness, physical fitness, mental fitness, loving yourself, living healthily. Before we dive into your Mix 6, we are going to crack into the quick fire 6. So 6 questions to help the listeners get to know you a little bit more. Are you ready?
I'm ready. I'm ready to go.
Shall we do this? Okay. Question number 1, Instagram or TikTok?
Oh, okay, I have to say TikTok. I spend more time on there. Yeah, TikTok for
Okay.
sure. It's
Okay.
got my attention.
It has, hasn't it? It has taken the world by storm. How many followers do you have on TikTok?
I think like 2,000 or 3,000 something, but it's just like my little safe space. I just make random
Yeah.
videos on there and just, just do silly stuff, which I really enjoy. I feel like it's a really nice space to just express yourself however you want to.
100%. Question number 2, your least favorite school subject?
Oh gosh, shall I say geography? Not that I didn't like it, but it just wasn't up there for me in terms of being like my favorite subject.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's
yeah,
really
geography.
interesting. Can I ask how come? Why geography?
Oh, would it be bad if I said maybe it was the teachers? You know, when you have a
That's
teacher that
fine.
really inspires you to like love a subject, I feel like I never had a geography teacher that did that for me. I mean, I hope none of them are listening right now. You did a great job, sorry, but I just never got that excitement I did with the other subjects, I guess.
And on that theme, please welcome Scola's geography teacher to the podcast.
Imagine.
Can you imagine? Question number 3, best childhood food.
Oh my goodness, what would have been my best? You know what, crisps. I've always been obsessed with crisps, and just throughout my childhood, like I could just, the multi-pack of crisps. I just could go through it so quickly. I love crisps.
Wow. 24 pack in one go, in one
Oh no,
sitting.
I was thinking more like maybe the 16 pack. Is there a 16
Okay.
pack? I don't know if that makes it
Yeah.
sound better.
Any particular flavor?
Honestly, it depends on my mood because I feel like each flavor it gives you something. If you want to go for something chill, you can go for like ready salted. But if you're feeling more exciting, it's like cheese and onion. You know what I'm saying?
100%
Yeah.
agree. I always had, when growing up, I had a little like 3-course meal. So I'd start with ready salted, have prawn cocktail for main, and then finish it off with some salt and vinegar. It
I
was
like
lovely.
that. I like
Yeah,
that. Like literally, it's like each one is like a starter main, and then the I guess dessert. You can't call it
yeah.
dessert, but
It,
yeah.
it almost rivaled a roast dinner.
Oh
It was
wow.
that lush.
See, I get it. Other people might not get that, but don't worry,
Mhm.
I get it. I get it.
Thank you, Scola. Question number 4: favorite sound.
Favorite sound? Oh, maybe wind chimes.
Love
When
that.
like in a garden, you just hear the wind chimes going, like, oh, that's just so relaxing. So I think that's up there with one of my favorite sounds for sure.
Do you have wind chimes?
No, I don't, but I should actually get some. I should get some wind chimes. So yeah, that would be really
Absolutely.
relaxing.
Question number 5. Your, I suppose we're going to be talking a lot about this today. Your number one self care top tip.
Um, just take some time out. We're always moving, there's always stuff going on. Like our attention is always, being used up. So it's just good to take a moment to just be still and just take some time out and just be grounded. So that's definitely my top tip.
Love that. And eat crisps.
Yeah.
Uh, question number 6. Oh, this is a good one. Your least favorite exercise or workout.
Oh, okay. So my least favorite exercise would have to be these things called burpees. When you have to get on the floor, almost do like a push up, and then you jump back up, you jump up, and then back down, and you just keep
Hmm.
going. And it's like there's nothing else that just completely destroys every single part of my body. Like it's a lot, but I guess it's worth it. It's good, but least favorite exercise, I will avoid it at all costs.
Did a few recently. I didn't walk for about a week and a half.
Oh gosh, I
I
get
was like a
it.
pet. I was like a little penguin, just waddling
Yeah.
around.
Literally
Yeah.
everything, even your upper body, like everything just hurts. Like you just can't
Hmm.
function after doing burpees, but they definitely make you stronger. I will give them that.
Okay. Okay. So we do have some benefit then.
Yeah.
So I think that gets us set up nicely for the main attraction, the mix 6. So as I said, 6 questions around your topic and you, Scola, and we end really nicely with the 6th and final question, with a question suggested by a young person, and it's a really great question, and I can't wait to get to it. But first, walk us through the journey of Scola Dondo. What has inspired you to start creating content as a teenager, and where has this journey taken you?
I would say what inspired me was seeing other creators at the time. It was very early on when it came to like social media in general, but I just remember I would enjoy just like creating stuff with like our family camera, when you just have like home videotapes, that kind of thing. We always had those. So I just sort of got inspired from that as well and just started playing around with stuff. And then I started posting my health and fitness journey as well because I already loved making videos. I was making other stuff, but I started making videos about my journey and it just took off. And now it's literally my whole life. Like, it's honestly, I don't get it. Like, people ask me, like, oh, what was your strategy? What was your plan? Like, how did you achieve this? What was your goal? And I'm like, I don't know. It's all been just an absolute whirlwind of, I just feel so lucky. I mean, it's been a lot of hard work, don't get me wrong, but still, I just feel so grateful to have started this. So I have to thank my teenage self because she did some cool stuff.
It sounds like it came from passion more than like your head or any sort of logic. It just came from the heart. Um, did you have a lot of self belief growing up then in order for you to to make this happen?
The funny thing is, I feel like I've always struggled with my self-esteem and my confidence in general. But what I found was making videos and creating content in general, it was my way of expressing myself. It was the only time I could really be me. Like even to this day, people who meet me in person are like, "Oh, you're so like quiet and reserved." But from my videos, you think I'd be like the life of the party. It depends on the day, but it was like that sort of like reserved, quiet kid that I was. I feel like um, it was just that place I could express myself and get myself out there. And so it really did just come from passion and wanting to express myself. Um, and yeah, it just like grew from there.
And we're talking about your journey. Um, How many years ago since that first video?
Oh my gosh. It makes me feel old, even though I know I'm not old. Like when I say how long it's been since the last video, okay, so I would say it's almost been 20 years, you know.
Wow.
Yeah, it's almost been 20 years now that I think of it. Am I exaggerating? I might be exaggerating. I lose count, but it's definitely up there in like the double digits, and it's just like, yeah, when I say it's been like my whole life, it's been like making videos is all I've ever known, really.
And going back to that first video, making that first video to who you are now, that journey, how have you changed? What have been the key highlights? What has been the key changes in your life and how you see the world?
I would say the key changes I've seen is that it just helped me be more confident in myself because I didn't see many people that look like me out there and achieving what I have achieved. So that's probably been the craziest thing for me because I just never thought coming from where I was coming from, being who I am, that I'd be able to do all of this. I think that's been just like the wildest part of it all. Just like I can't believe like I've done this. So yeah.
It sounds like you're still in disbelief that you've actually done all of this in your life.
Yeah, I think it's because I didn't plan it. I think if you
Yeah.
plan it or you have a goal or dreams, like it's literally just like every day I just wake up and I'm like, I want to create something. And that's the only vision I have. But I
Hmm.
guess it's like every little small step has built up to this, but I didn't see the bigger picture, surprisingly enough. I just was like, I'm having so much fun. But I guess it just goes to show when you do something you really love and you're really enjoying it, like you never know where it could go. Like when it's like something you're genuinely passionate about and you love, like you're not thinking about all these possibilities, which I think actually opens up way more possibilities because the stuff that I couldn't even dream of in my wildest dreams. So it's been cool just seeing what's possible.
Moving into question number two. Obviously, your videos are all about fitness. That's where it started. Um, what does fitness mean to you today compared to when you first began this journey?
So I would say fitness started off as a tool, you could say, and it started off as, yeah, I would just say it started off as a tool, whereas now it's more so something like brushing my teeth is just a part of my life. You know, like it started off like this huge thing, like a hobby that I'm embarking on, but now it's literally just a part of my life, just the same as, you know, you get up, you have breakfast, you have to drink water, you have to brush your teeth, you have to make sure you're looking after yourself in all these different ways. That's what fitness is like for me now, whereas I think back then it was more so like, oh, it's a just like separate part of my life, but now it's like it's literally just a part of my everyday.
And does it have different, depending on the context, does it have different meanings? As I said at the beginning of this episode, you've got physical fitness, mental fitness is becoming a word now. How do you see fitness? Is it this umbrella term that all of these things sit under, or is it still that it's working out, it's exercising, that sort of thing?
I think it could be so many different things because it can help with so many different parts of your life and your health in general. Like for like you're saying, you know, fitness can massively help with your mental health, but it can also massively help with your physical health as well. But also it can be a fun hobby as well. So it can be something really engaging and fun that you do, or you could like do a sport. You know, there's so many things you can do with fitness that I think it's really exciting that you can find different reasons to want to do it, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
You've got different motivations to get you into it that are really positive.
Question number three. So it's not just about fitness when it comes to your content. Body positivity and self acceptance are big themes also in your work. How did you come to embrace these values and what challenges did you face along the way?
I think it was just through experience because I realized as time went on, you're never going to be 100% happy with the way that you look. Like, you're never going to be like, okay, I'm good now, I'm perfect, I'm feeling so good. Like, there's always going to be something you want to change. And then that's when I realized, oh, this could be just an ongoing cycle where you like I never feel good about myself. So I had to really learn to start accepting myself no matter how I look, especially getting older. It's like your body changes in so many ways throughout your life, and there's so many factors that can play into that as well. Like, you could be going through a really stressful, tough time, and that could cause your body to change, or you could be going through a great time, or you could be going on holiday, whatever it is. I think the idea used to be that you have to be like perfect all the time. You have to look exactly as one way all the time. But then you realize your body is like just so beautiful, and it's like capable of so much, and it's gonna change because it's got stuff going on, and that's okay. And I think having that realization has really helped me in my self-acceptance journey and made fitness so much funner as well, because I can focus on other aspects that are way more important and way more rewarding and fulfilling in the long run.
The body is never perfect. It's always going to be up, it's going to be down, it's going to go through stresses, and then it's going to rest and reset. um how did you figure all of that out? Was this something that happened overnight, or was this something that happened gradually over time?
It happened gradually over time, especially because I think I was going through it before, like fitness really was so much more easily accessible online, and information was like more like accessible online, if that makes sense. So it really was trial and error. It was a lot of years of like realizing it for myself. And in some ways, I think that's maybe one of the best ways to go about it, because sometimes you just have to go through something to learn the lesson yourself. And that's been a really valuable lesson for me that I'm now able to try to pass on to others and like spread more of a positive message.
Question number 4. So mental health runs through your work, your content. And I wanted to ask, how does fitness play a role in your personal mental health routine? Are there any other self-care tips or practices that you prioritize?
Yeah, I would definitely say fitness is up there. One of the ones I prioritize when it comes to my mental health. Like, it can completely turn around your day. Like, I notice a difference if I've not exercised on a day where I really felt like I needed it. Like, I can feel it in my mind. I'm not as productive. I'm not as like settled. It's just like I notice it so much. But other than that, also other things are really important. Like, I make sure that I talk to people, which sounds like really like, okay, we talk to people every day. But I mean, like, really taking the time to talk to people and sharing experiences, and just like knowing that you have other people there. I think community is one of the most important things for your health. To be able to have other people to lean on to get advice and stuff like that, and just to fill your cup up, really. I think is really lovely. So that's another self care thing I try to do often, because naturally I'm very introverted and I can be very quiet and keep to myself. But I really make sure I get myself talking and you know just sharing with others.
Having that solid support network around you, I guess, which also takes time. How do you um how do I put this? How do you make sure you do have a support network that you rely on if it's so important to you?
I would just say making sure that I'm contributing as well and being there for people, and then they're doing the same for me as well. I think that's the best way to go about it. I mean, also, I'm just very lucky. I have an older sister I'm very close to, so she was like my inbuilt person. When I popped up, I was like, yay, I already have a bestie. I can talk to you about everything. So that's made it really easy. But I think, yeah, just making sure that I behave and act in a certain way that I would want others to like behave and act towards me. So yeah.
Question number 5, and we're moving more into our listeners now, and the advice and tips that you can give to them, Scola. With question number 5, what advice would you give to young people who struggle with self-image, or just feel pressured to look a certain way?
I would say the first thing is to focus on other aspects of yourself. I think that really helped me, like, instead of being so caught up with the way that I look, like, there's so many other aspects to me, my personality, my sense of humor, my kindness, what I like, what I do for others, and everything like that. Like it's like the way you look is just, yeah, unfortunately we live in a world where it can play a part in different aspects, but for the most part it shouldn't stop you from doing anything you want to do or stop you from feeling good about yourself, because there's so much other aspects to yourself that are so much more important. I would just say don't take it so seriously and just have fun with it.
Hmm.
I think you can never run away from insecurities. I think that's just a part of life and being a human. But I think just not taking it too seriously, because I think that's what like really affected me at times, like feeling like it's the end of the world if I am not the most perfect version of myself. But in reality, like it's just like just have fun. Like life is fun and just relax and be grateful and enjoy all the good stuff that's out there and focus on that, which I think I did a
Hmm.
good amount of, but I think, yeah, still I got caught up with, my self image. And sometimes I wouldn't do things because I was worried about the way that I look and I'd miss out on opportunities, but I wish I hadn't done that.
I guess a lot of this comes from comparing and people comparing themselves to other people in that, like, oh, I need to follow this trend or I need to look that way. If that happens to you, how do you deal with that? How have you dealt with that in the past in terms of comparing yourself to other people?
I think it's first of all, like I keep saying, there's no real like definition of perfect, if that makes sense. Like, who is perfect? Everyone feels like they need to change something about themselves. Even the person that you really want to look like, you're like, oh my God, they're the most perfect, amazing person. They probably got a long list of things that they want to change about themselves as well. So when you realize that we're all comparing ourselves to each other, it's like, why don't we just be happy with who we are? Because we're all unique as well. And that's the beautiful thing. And like, okay, there might be somebody that thinks you're like super ugly, but then there might be someone that thinks you're super beautiful, and it doesn't matter either way. It just matters how you feel about yourself, and if you just fill yourself up with positivity and just self-acceptance as well, because I think always trying to be positive is just not realistic. Like, it's normal to have your emotions go up and down, especially when it comes to the way that you look, but it shouldn't affect how you feel day to day. It shouldn't stop you from living your life. It's just another part of life, but it shouldn't take
Hmm.
over your life.
Completely agree. Thank you for that, Scola. They're all my questions. That's the mix five. We now have the mix six question. And as always, we ask young people to suggest these questions. And we had a great bunch of questions come in to ask you. And it was very hard to just pick one. However, that's what we always do. So that's what we'll have to do today. And it's a really great question, and it brings us all the way back to your roots, to the beginning of this conversation as well. And it is simply, where do I start on my fitness journey? I want to lead a healthier lifestyle and work out more, but I'm struggling with motivation. So where do I start?
I would say this has always been my number one tip. Find an activity you hate the least, because it's likely right now you feel like there's no activity that you enjoy when it comes to moving your body, and you're like, no. But just find the one that you hate the least, even if it's just walking, even if it's just like dancing in your room. Just start small with that, and like, just take some time to do that in your day. Like, set aside time, even if it's just 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and just start easing yourself into it if you're really struggling with it. Like, make it something fun. Like I said, it's just something that's a part of your life, and it shouldn't be seen as a chore or whatever. It's like something that's going to add to your life and make you feel good. So find something you hate the least, and if you can find something you enjoy, that's great. But you will start to feel the effects that makes it funner, and then you'll just sort of just keep up with it and keep going.
So what you're essentially saying is no burpees.
No, you don't have to do burpees. I think that's the thing. Like,
No.
sometimes people like they hate running, and then they're like force themselves to go running. It's like, if that's the like type of exercise you dislike the most, don't force yourself to do it. Do something you at least can get into and enjoy, and then build
Mhm.
from there.
Yeah. And I guess, as you said, it doesn't have to be that workout, or it doesn't have to be for gym. It can be a sport, it can be walking, as you said. The there are so many ways we can exercise. Is that right?
Yeah, exactly. Because I think me myself, I actually never fully enjoyed the gym or just enjoyed like just being like, okay, it's time to work out. I love doing fun activities. I love going to a club, whether that's like a sports club or going to like just like a dance class, something like that. I love mixing it up, or even like rock climbing. I've tried that. There's so many different activities out there, and it's just about doing whatever is fun for you.
And that is it. That is the Mix Six. Thank you, Scola, so much. I think that was a real good insight into your journey and what's inspired you, and no doubt it will inspire so many young people who are listening today. It's inspired me actually. I think I might just get a 16 pack of crisps now.
Oh
Um,
no, don't! No! That was young for me. That was
yeah,
young to me.
yeah. If there was one thing you wanted to leave our listeners with, what would it be?
Just relax.
Yeah,
You know,
love
just
that.
just relax. There's always so much going on and so much to think about. Just let yourself just chill out and just have a
Hmm.
good time and have some fun. Like that's what I'm all about. It's like just don't take things too seriously. Just chill out.
Yeah, it's all good.
Yeah, it's all
It's all good.
good. So good.
Scola, I think that was just the perfect ending to this episode. But before we go, if people wanted to find out more about you, where do they go?
Well, I'm everywhere basically, but if you just search up Scola Dondo, then I should pop up. But yeah, that's pretty much where you can find me.
Brilliant. And if you wanted to check out more about The Mix, then just visit us at the www.themix.org.uk or check us out on the socials, as I said, whether it's counselling, community, content, relationships, sex, fitness, mental health, physical health, drugs, alcohol, whatever you're going through, we have got it. So it leaves me one more thing to say. Scola, thank you so much for joining us on the Mix 6 podcast and have yourself a lovely day.
Thank you. Thank you for having me on the podcast.
You're so welcome. Take care.
Thank you.